See that recording from last time.
Alright.
And we live. Once again. Here. Nobody on up there. I wait for a couple of minutes.
Alright.
And we gonna chop it up. Real good. So, you know what we talking about today, right?
Right, whatever you want to talk about, Rick. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it off, you know. I like coming off the dome, man. I don't like being prepared. When you prepare, sometimes you miss something.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so yeah, so we in here, man. Once again, Richard Taylor here with my good friend, Commissioner, often duplicated.
Often
imitated, never duplicated.
There we go.
Most hated, never faded. Nah, man. We out here, man. We just chilling, man. We gonna bring you a little video, man, just discussing some topics, you know how we do.
Thank you for having me again, brother. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm the first guest to come twice, huh?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. You know,
first guest to come twice, man. We doing a little podcast type deal.
No doubt.
Just discussion, man. The topic I want to talk about today, though, is religion. You know, many people know that you have very strong feelings, you know, about some of the religious things, some of the religious happenings, and you know, I've been in the church all my life. My father's a preacher, so I've seen like the good, the bad, the ugly, the very ugly of it all. So, we're gonna start off just what is your views about, you know, the position of religion in today as it relates to, you know, the black race, and what do you think needs to change or could be improved upon?
I think that if you're a believer, non-believer, whatever it is, think that if you are a believer that you need to follow those rules, you know, and if you follow the rules and what's in it, you know, I think we'll be better off. But a lot of times those rules have been manipulated for power. They've been manipulated for money. They've been manipulated for certain things. And when you fall into that manipulation, a lot of times it's hard to get out because you believe that what's being said and what's being taught is true. And, you know, one thing, you have to know it for yourself. You know what I mean? And a lot of us, we don't read. We don't take the time to sit out and read. We just want to listen to what somebody else says. You know, I've been, you know, as far as Christianity goes, I've read the Bible a few times. I still study it to the day, just for knowledge. You know, I think there are a lot of good things in the Bible. I also think there are a lot of bad things in the Bible. Just my personal view. And, you know, when a lot of people don't want to speak on some of those bad things that are said, you know, and we hide behind them, and we come up with all types of excuses and stuff, you know, and you know, but for me, I question it. You know, I try to learn from it. I even follow a lot of it, you know, but for me, you know, if you're gonna believe, just follow it. You know what I mean? Do what Jesus did. You know what I mean? Do what you're being told to do. You know what I mean? Because the world will be a better place. Being called an atheist, you know, because I don't believe exactly what others believe. But if you are a Christian and someone else is a Muslim, they're atheists in your religion. A lot of people don't want to address that, but they're two different gods. And in Christianity, God says only one God. But that's two different gods, two different sets of beliefs. Even within Christianity, you have different sectors of Christianity that believe different things. Some believe you shouldn't wear pants, that you go to hell, that you going to hell. You know what I mean? So it's a lot out here, you know what I mean? But we think it's all under one roof, but technically it's not. You know what I mean? But the one universal thing with religion is love. If we all love, we can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's the love of God. That's the love of Jesus. That's the love of Prophet Muhammad. That's the love of Mary, if you believe you're Catholic. That's the love of Buddha. That's the love of whoever you want to follow. You know what I'm saying? But that's the number one thing. But it's just so much hate and so much confusion and so much all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It causes problems because of personal stuff. You know what I mean? Like some believe Barack was sent by God as a president.
Some believe Trump was sent by God.
Exactly.
So that's
but that's still two Christian sectors that believe two different things. You know what I mean? And was mad, and vice versa, mad at the other. If they were both sent by God, why would you be mad?
Yeah. That's a whole nother topic. That's one thing that I got kind of questionable about when the Trump and the Biden race was. You had a lot of believers saying that praying for Biden again, but then you also had a lot of believers praying for Trump to get in. So if we all serve the same God, then why the division? And that actually caused a lot of division, a lot of fuss, and a lot of fights throughout the the Christian community. So that's one thing I kind of question about it. But you said one thing that I always say too about the different religions, like people say Muslim is wrong, and then of course the Muslims say Christianity is wrong. But I look at it as the proximity. Like if everybody in America right now who's a Christian was born in Saudi Arabia, they would be a diehard Muslim, and you wouldn't be able to tell them any different. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, I agree on that point with a universal God. There's only one universal God. Some may call him Allah, some may call him, Jesus Christ, some may call him, Buddha. It just depends on where you're at, on what you believe. So, I was born in America, so of course I believe in, Christianity.
In the South is another reason, you know what I mean? Like you might go up north and where it was broader, where there were it's more of a melting pot versus down in the South. We were just black and white. You know what I'm saying? You go up north, they have a lot of them born into different religions or born into knowing different things and not believing certain things because they were taught things that we weren't taught. We were taught certain things. I was raised in a Christian household, in church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I just started to study, read different things, learn different things. I've traveled the world. I've met a lot of people. So it's like I just started to gain different knowledge. So with that knowledge, I started, but I'm not even going to say to believe anything, but more or less to disbelieve some of the things that I've been taught that I always felt like was wrong anyway. So that's just my thing. So, at the end of the day, what anybody believes, that's up to them. It's what you do what's going to change things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have all the faith in the world. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but what are you going to do while you're here? What's going to be your impact? Who are you going to help? Are you going to do what your belief tells you to do? You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the main things for me. We can work together regardless. We don't have to believe the same thing, but we still have the same mission. We still have the same purpose, for people and for life. You know what I'm saying? And want to see different things change. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to agree on everything. And that's one of the things that people, if you don't agree with this, oh, you shunned and you bad and this, that, and the third. It's like, nah, ain't no bad person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I put my helping hand up against anybody's. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And whatnot. And that's, I don't have to believe what you believe. I'm not doing it for no reward. I don't care. Like, if I don't believe in the heaven or hell, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what happens after this, but anything that I do it from the heart, and I do it for love, and it's not for no reward. I'm not looking for anything back. I do because I know it's the right thing to do, and it's what's in me, and it's the purpose that's been put in me to fight for my people, everything else. I don't get no reward out of it.
So yeah, that's one thing that I hear you mention a lot. Faith without works is dead. So, and I agree with that as well. But what is your overall view of God, and what do you think, that how that relates to, what's your purpose in life? Like, what is?
I overall think God is whatever someone wants it to be. It's that person's definition. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell anybody what anybody's definition is. Can't even say what my definition is, because I think it's something that's infinite. I think it's something that cannot be explained. I don't think it's something that can be written in a book to tell me this is what's God. You know what I'm saying? How can you put something in a book that or that created everything? If that's the case, it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff that we don't even know about yet. How can it be put in a book? You know what I mean? If God created Earth, and did He create Mars? Did He create Venus? Did He create this? You know what I mean? It's a lot of questions we gotta ask. You know what I'm saying? But that's not in this book. So how do we know? You know what I mean? But most of us won't think that far. We just think within this certain realm or whatever. We've been boxed in. You know what I mean? So therefore, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's right and who's wrong. Who's to say who's right and who's wrong? There are 4,000 religions. Who knows who's right and who's wrong? But you have every person that believes in their religion will say that they are right. Okay, you are.
In your own eyes.
In your own eyes. I can't tell nobody who's wrong or whatever. I can only look at your actions and say, your actions don't line up with what you say you believe. Now that I can't do. You know what I mean? Because I can look at your actions, but I can't tell you what you believe is wrong. That's your belief. Believe it. Have faith. Be strong in it. Stand with it. But also comes a certain level of action that comes with that belief. And that's the problem that I have with people. You know what I mean? It's like, don't claim it if you're not going to live by it. So when I start to question it or question what you're doing, if I say, okay, this church is bringing in $1 million a year, but don't put back $1,000 into the community. Whoo, people mad at me, but they have a responsibility. It's right there in your Bible.
Yeah. It's a lot of it's a scripture that says men have replaced the laws of God with the tradition of men. So that's what I think. And also, like the Bible says God created man in His image, but I think man has created God in man's image
over time,
their finite understanding. It kind of limits the power that I feel that we have because of quote unquote religion, things like that. So what was I going to say? Okay, so see, now you have been known to go hard on the church, and actually I am one of the person, because I think was it 2 years ago you ran for the mayor, and a lot of people thought, that because you were so hard on the churches, which is, this is basically a church, what you say, you got 400, 800 churches in this town?
Yeah, 800 in the county, I think, somewhere around there.
Okay, so a lot of people thought that, if you weren't so hard on the church, you may have had a bigger support system from that sector of society. How do you feel about that, and do you regret that in any way? No regrets.
That's on them. You know what I mean? That's the choice that they made. They gotta live with that and answer that at the end of the day. Jesus was hard on the church.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But we don't want to discuss that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying we as in me and you. I'm just saying people in general don't want to discuss that. Jesus was hard on the church, but we have a problem with it now because we've been so manipulated and so controlled by this building and by these pastors and preachers and everybody it's all about control, money, dollars. But as soon as somebody speak out against it, oh, you the bad person. But I don't get nothing out of speaking out against it. I don't get no money. I don't get nothing. So if I'm doing it from the heart, trying to teach you what's really in the word. I read it several times. I'm gonna keep repeating that. I'm gonna hit that every time I get a chance because I know it. You know what I'm saying? And people want to say, well, you have to have discernment to read it. No, you just gotta learn how to read and comprehend. You know what I mean? And we've been duped to thinking, oh, you can't read it. You know, everybody can't read it. Yes, you can. Sit down, take your time. You know what I mean? But most people have problems with reading and comprehension. And it's not the easiest book to read. You know what I'm saying? But don't tell me that I can't do it because I'm not a preacher or because I have been so-called called by God. You don't know who I've been called by. You don't know. Yeah. I'm not running around here saying I'm no preacher, nothing like that, but you don't know what God put in my heart. If you believe in that God, you don't know. You don't know what God put right here in my mind to be able to read it. But you judge me because I'm telling you something different than what's ever been told to you. Yeah. But if you got out here and research, it's been thousands of men that said the same thing that I'm saying before I said it. Mm-hmm. But it's never been taught to you. You never took the time. You never really took the time to read it. And I always go verbatim with the Bible. A lot of times when I talk, I put scripture right there. Yeah. And you've seen it. I've never not put scriptures in what I'm saying. I back up what I'm saying 100% with scriptures. But people still want to turn around and say that I'm wrong. But
that's their interpretation, though. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody like me and you can read the same scripture, and I might get a different interpretation. You might get a different interpretation. So then, you know, you gotta take people where they are. What's up, Dr. Perkins? Too, I see you. I'm still waiting for my interview with you too, man. But you know, she definitely agreed with you. Said the work is on the outside. And feel free to comment, man. Feel free to ask us some questions because we want to, you know, I just want to get. We have these conversations all the time, and many people, you know, don't have an opportunity to really understand, you know, your point of view from just a simple Facebook post. You know what I'm saying? So because it's much deeper than that.
And that's the thing, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, even with the whole mayor's race, they came at me about religion and this, that, and the third, and it's fine. You know what I mean? I wasn't upset about it. Anything that I've ever said, I stood behind it. I ain't changed nothing. You know what I mean? And to this day, I don't regret it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I didn't win the mayor's race, but now I sit over the mayor. I'm a county commissioner. They answer to us. We don't answer to the city. The city answers to the county. So remember that. You know what I mean? Now, you know, they asking me, oh, the mayor's sick. Are you going to go back and run for mayor? I have zero plans to do that. But if this was meant for me to do, that's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? But right now, they all worried and they frustrated out here, man. I can feel them. I can feel them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to the mayor, too, man. I got to give Mayor Chuck Allen, man. I know you hard on him, but he bought my book the other day. So I got to give him.
I bought your book, too. You know what I'm saying? And I bought it before he did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I'm just going to keep it 100. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I ain't giving her no shout out. You know what I mean? You bought a book. You know, get that money straight. Make sure this money go to the people that's in need out here. You know what I mean? You know, like, it is what it is. It's been years of this city messed up, and we got to be straight up about it. You know what I mean? But I told people years ago that it was messed up. Nobody believed me, but now you see it. No audit. No bonding. Can't borrow money right now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, everybody still love the situation and is quiet about it. But this is real. This is affecting all of us. You know what I mean? Generations coming behind us. I don't know how they're gonna get out the hole. You know, we got some money coming down from the feds, and I think they're gonna manipulate some of that money to try to get up out the hole. I think the city getting about $9 million. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna do a little something. It'll be coming soon. You know what I mean? But the people out there gotta watch it. We gotta be responsible for it. We're responsible for it. But we let them do whatever they want to do. Then we gotta shut up. You know what I mean? And that's the problem that we have. We don't have enough people speaking up. We claim that we tough. We claim that we this. We ready to beat each other. What I look like ready to beat you up, but scared to speak on the situation. Scared to speak on what's going on out here. What it look like? You scared? You willing to beat me up, shoot me, do whatever, talk junk to me, but you scared to stand up for your neighborhood and stand up for the people that's getting done wrong. That's ridiculous.
We've been conditioned, you know what I'm saying, by, you know, the power structure. A lot of people, I remember. I was talking to William Raymond, and he brought up a good point why he didn't subscribe to religion. Right? He said, you know, how could you rape my mother, you know, kill my father, castrate my father, feed my babies to alligators, whoop and beat me, work me all day, and then give me a book and say, hey, this is for you, this is going to help you. So I think, you know, a lot of the times the way we have learned the Bible, the way we have it's been passed down to us. They focus on, okay, well, just, you know, obey your masters, obey the government, you know, don't. They've been sent by God.
And let me I'm gonna cut you off.
Okay,
but now we gotta understand now too. In your Bible, that's stated to be okay.
Oh yeah, slavery. Oh yeah.
It was okay. In your Bible, it's saying that we are a cursed people. Mm-hmm. Because we did something wrong. Now my thing is, white people ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? So when is that slavery coming? You know what I mean? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, at the end of the day, we got to look at that manipulation as well. You know how you telling me that it was okay to have a slave? Just don't kill him. You can do whatever you want to do to him. Just don't kill him. I agree with Will on that. I just can't subscribe to that. That's a problem that I have. You know what I mean? And most don't want to answer that question. Most stay away from it. You're not gonna hear that in your Sunday message. You know what I mean, and whatnot. But we have to evaluate that. There's a lot of things we need to evaluate in the Bible. I remember growing up, when I first got to junior high, I had to go to Coach Durham. Got in some trouble, in school suspension.
Okay. ISS.
Man, look.
And what was that building?
I can't even remember. I can't remember. But I was just over there the other day and I walked down that hall. I was like, yo, just brought back memories.
That rest in peace, Carpenter.
Exactly. But a great man. Yeah, yo, look, but and I look back at what he was doing and just how strong of a black man he was. But I didn't like him. I didn't like him because he was
different. Yeah, he was different. We were scared of that.
We were scared of that because we were taught to be scared of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, dad, yo, like I wish I could have that conversation with him now. I wish I would have listened to him then. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot, because he was trying to instill something in us that nobody else was. A level of respect for ourselves, a way we supposed to carry ourselves. Coach Durham could walk in anywhere. That man got respect. He ain't back down for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, for me, I disliked him because I was taught to dislike somebody that was Muslim. Through Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And that's just as real. I'm going to take it a little step further. I got to high school. I had my first gay teacher. I was taught not to like gay people. You know what I mean? Subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like that was forbidden. You know what I mean? And it's like, but that man was a genius. He was trying to teach me something. He saw something in me, but I ain't like him. I'm in the class like, forget you getting put out of class because his sexual preference. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to him too.
Mr.
You know what
Williams.
I mean? Yes. Okay. You know what I mean? Brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, so I take those things and say, those are some of the things that, I was taught. And it was like, now, we're looking at a little bit different. It's more inclusion. It's more togetherness, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. It's not, well, you don't hear, even though Christians might not agree with Muslims, you don't hear them downing them as bad. You don't hear Muslims downing Christians as bad. But, it's still not the same exact thing. But with that being said, that's just the way that I grew up. And I had to learn that for myself. And it took years. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just overnight. And I went through all different types of churches, growing up, from the show no shout every Sunday and, talking tongues, the falling out, to going to First Assembly where they sing different, it's a mixed culture, you know what I mean, and everything. So I started going to church with my grandmother, it was Episcopalian.
Episcopalian?
Episcopalian.
What is the difference? Episcopalian, Presbyterian, Methodist,
it's a
Baptist.
lot. It's Free Will Baptist. It's a lot of differences in the way the church services goes. It's a lot of differences in how people act. There are certain different things you're supposed to do, not supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So my grandmother always ate fish on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
that was religious.
That was religious. You know what I mean? So,
Jazzy B?
So it's been a lot of different things I've learned over my life, and I'm glad that I've been able to learn those things, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw different angles, saw different things, you know what I'm saying? But, I just say that at some point we hinder that coming together because of beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And it's anytime you label something, you separate it. If you put food in your refrigerator on with labels and you put them in different containers, that's you basically, you know, some people label certain things as separation. So now, instead of coming together, it's like, nah, they believe in that over there. We can't really get together with them. Or they not in our church denomination. We can't get with them. Or no, the Muslim brothers up the street, we can't go talk to them because they don't really believe what we believe. But we all need to come together and
What's
work
up,
together.
Pastor World? What's up, Pastor World?
We got to work together. And that's the main thing, you know what I mean? But we so separate that it's causing so many different problems, man.
Well, Jesus said he didn't bring to bring peace, but he came to bring confusion. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't, you know, that's something. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, why wouldn't you bring peace? But here's another scripture that I was reading earlier in Job, right? Mm-hmm. And anybody feel free to answer this question because a lot of people have this same sentiment about God. It said Job chapter 9, verse 22. Mm-hmm. He said, it is all the same. That is why I say, he, meaning God, he destroys both the blameless and the wicked. When the disease brings sudden death, he mocks the despair of the innocent. When a land falls into the hands of the wicked, he blindfolds its judges. If it's not God who does it, then who is it? So what Job is basically saying is, you know, God destroys the wicked and the innocent alike. He also, you know, let the hand fall into the wicked, so he blind the eyes of the judges. Once again, blue lights in my rear view. You know, the wicked rule the world, and where is God in all this? See, that's a lot of people who don't believe in God. They have that same sentiment. Feel free to chime in on this question because it's a quote that says, if God is all powerful,
is he all good?
Then he can't be all good. Yeah. Now, and if God is all good, then he can't be all powerful. Meaning, if God is all good, then there wouldn't be any evil. Or if God is all powerful, I mean, if God is all powerful, then there wouldn't be any evil as well. Okay. So basically, what you know, it's saying, you know, I got a homeboy. Shout out to Tim Fisher, VA. He always say that, well, where's God when little innocent kids are getting raped? You know what I'm saying?
That's been a question I've asked a few people. You know, and I go into that a little bit real quick. The first thing is that, you know, we got to go back to the beginning of the Bible. You know, the God created a tree of good and evil.
Okay.
Not just a tree of good. Tree of good and evil. We will go up to Isaiah, I think it is 45:7. It says, I
make the rain on the just and the just. Yeah.
Basically, I created good, I created evil. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So God did all of that. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of questions just within that. You know what I mean? Like, God created the serpent. You know what I'm saying? And he knew what the serpent was going to do. Why? You know what I mean? We got a lot of questions that we can ask, and a lot of people...
Why he just didn't make everything good?
You know what I mean? I mean, you know, why you just didn't kill the devil? You know what I'm saying? Why you let your son die, but didn't kill the devil? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a lot of questions. I mean, I don't have the answers to them. I don't. And a lot of times I tell people, it's whatever you want to believe, but then don't shy away from what's there, because this is there in your book. Mm-hmm. Just because pastor's not preaching on it on Sunday don't mean it's not there. Yes, you know what I mean? So now you need to think. God gave you this brain. If that's what you believe you got it, God gave you the brain, so think. You know, ask them questions to yourself if you don't even feel comfortable asking anybody. Read it for yourself. Read it. It's pick up the Bible and read it. By chapter 6 of Genesis, God was destroying the world, flooding it. That's real early in the game.
Yeah. It was that bad.
It was that bad. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. So
now the next one will be fire.
Exactly. So, you know, according to scripture, that's what's next. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of things. And I think it's no way Jesus could have came to be the person that he was and bring peace, because there was so much going on. Yeah. So you had to break up all that going on that you thought was peaceful, that you thought was right. So when you come with something that, if you go against what people think is right, it ain't peace. It ain't peace.
Yeah, true.
You see what I'm saying? Definitely. It's like right now, people feel like, okay, you took me, I'm going to use myself as an example because I'm the Antichrist according to, people and stuff. Okay, I came with something different against the church because I ain't feel like the churches was doing what they supposed to do in the neighborhoods and doing what they supposed to do by people. So now I came to break that up. That ain't peaceful. Okay. So now you mad at me because I came to break it up. And that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people. So that's why I think, no, it's not peaceful. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, had Jesus came with, okay, we're going to do what y'all been doing, he wouldn't have got killed.
Yeah, yeah.
He was murdered.
People don't know Jesus was a rebel. You know what I'm saying? He called out the Pharisees and the scribes, all the people who walked around, had the high priests and the churches and priests in the synagogue. He like, yo, nah, you a brood of vipers. You taking money. You using my word for 50 lucre. He did a lot and was ultimately killed by the state of Rome, but he was given over to the state of Rome by his own brothers and sisters, the one he came to save. So,
now let's take that a little bit further. Okay. I wasn't there when Jesus when that was happening. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even there when Martin and Malcolm was killed. Okay. But I know people that saw it. You know what I'm saying? Look at what them brothers did. They sacrificed. They came with something that was different, and it wasn't peaceful for a certain group of people.
Yeah.
So what do people do? They kill him.
They killed him.
They killed him. Simple as that. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? I'll fast forward to 2020, 2019. They didn't literally try to kill me, shoot me, but they tried to kill my political career. They tried to assassinate my character. A lot of people fell for it. You know what I'm saying? I doubled back on them and still punched them in the mouth. So what? But I'm just saying, these are the things people got to look at it like, yo, look, anytime you doing something that's against that power structure, they gonna come at you. Yeah. They gonna try their best to take you down. Because they know if they take you out, the next man, it'd be 50 years for the next man to step up. Because he's scared. He saw what happened to you. Yeah. That's what happens. It's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people scared to speak up right now because they saw what happened to me. Yeah. They scared to speak on certain things. He be in my inbox, yo, Bear, yeah, you right, man, but I can't say that. I'm fine. Yeah. That's on you. I don't expect everybody to say it. I created my life to do this. To be able to be free to say and do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if right, this company that we're at right now, if people, the owner was to call and say, yo, Bev, you can't say that. Okay, Bev, all right, okay. Have a good day. You know what I mean? I ain't even got to give you my 2-week notice. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm just out. But that's the way I created my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't answer to anyone. Nobody put me in my position. I worked hard to get to where I am. So I don't owe nobody. So therefore, at the end of the day, I don't have to vote with you because I don't owe you nothing. I don't have to side with you and go against what's best for my people because I don't owe you nothing. But there are people out here that owe people, and you don't know it. So they seeming like, oh yeah, I'm down, this, that, and the third, but you owe somebody. You control by your job. You control by that check. So you can't say but so much. Yeah. And I dig it. But you're doing a disservice to your people. You shouldn't even be there if you can't stand up. Yeah. And you mentioned the Malcolm and Martin in the 60s. Like, the church was at the forefront of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? They, like I said, Southern Christian leadership. Yeah, Southern Christian leadership, SNCC, all of them. And so now it seems like you said, the church is kind of laid back because they don't want to ruffle no feathers. They don't want to lose constituency. They don't want to offend nobody. But this is one scripture, and this is a shameless plug too. Blue Lights in my rear view. Make sure you get that www.taylorhouse. But one of the scriptures I used was Isaiah 10:1-2. Now, Isaiah was a prophet in the days where Israel was being oppressed. Mm-hmm. And he said, woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people. Now, Isaiah was a prophet back in those days, and he spoke out against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, very vehemently. But we, a lot of people, pastors or whatever, kind of tiptoe around the subject that, well, we just got to love and pray and all of that. So what do you think needs to be done? Like,
I posed this situation to Pastor World. You know, shout out once again to Pastor Nicholas World. He was like, well, I want to do something, but I just don't know what to do. What more can I do? What should I do?
I mean, I say this, you know, if you don't know what to do, reach out to someone that you think might know what to do. You know what I mean? That's the first thing we can do. We can all sit down and start talking. You know what I mean? But, you know, some are scared of that backlash that's going to come with it and scared that when they do stand up, what's going to come against them, what they might lose. Are you willing to lose your church? Are you willing to lose your financial gain from being pastor of that church? Are you ready to lose all that? Are you willing to go into debt? Because that might happen if your followers don't go with you or don't believe in what you're saying no more. They like, well, nah, you too radical for us.
Yeah, radical.
You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna go that way? So that's one of the things that we have to realize. Like, are you willing to make that sacrifice? And most aren't willing to make that sacrifice because it's a scary road. It's a scary slope. You know what I'm saying? And I dig it. I mean, I dig it, but at the same time, it's like, don't sit and holler that, you know what I mean, that you about that life and this, that, and the third, because you're not willing to make that sacrifice. Everything, Jesus made a sacrifice. So Martin Luther King made a sacrifice. Malcolm made a sacrifice. Nat Turner made a sacrifice. It's great men. All these great men made sacrifices.
What are you going to sacrifice?
What are you going to sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? And it's like this, okay.
Everybody's comfortable.
Yeah, everybody comfortable. We can pray all we want. We can pray all we want. Because that's faith. That's the faith part. Okay, we got that out the way.
Yeah.
I think we've been praying for years. We done got all, ain't a prayer that can go up that ain't been gone, that ain't went up. That's just a fact. I don't care what nobody says. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's nothing new under the sun that can be prayed for that ain't been prayed for. My question is now, there's a lot of work that ain't been done that need to be done.
Where's the work?
Where is the work?
Where's the work?
You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, 200, I remember 200 people going downtown praying. Love the event. That's great. Okay, now them 200 people need to go back downtown and ask where the funding at for the people that's in need. That's what needs to happen. Them pastors that were down there praying and everything, people singing, need to be right back down there in our city's face saying, what are you going to do for the people that's in need? Okay, you went down and you prayed for them. Now comes the work. And that's the question that I asked, you know what I'm saying? Where you at?
And you mentioned something I remember Facebook post you did about, you know, a few weeks back. You was like, okay, the church brings all in the money and builds all the edifices, pay for the organ, pay for the chandeliers. But then in times like this is where the money's supposed to be going back to the community. And I really dug that, though, because there's a scripture that says, bring all my tithes into the storehouse so there will be meat for my people. Now, back then, you know, they brought food and lamb. So I guess, you know, they were supposed to keep that for the people. They give back to the people. Now it's money. So, you know, when you're bringing a lot of money in, a lot of money is being spent on the upkeep of the church, the additions, you know, the beautification, the sound systems. But then, like you said, in times like these, you know, this is when the church should be dishing out and pretty much stepping in where the government can't and providing things for people. Where did, you know what I mean? How do you feel? I mean, I know how you feel about it, but just expound on that.
Let's go into any community. I don't care where you go at. The most expensive building in that community is the church. Think about it. Any community. I don't care what community you go to. You go somewhere with multi-million-dollar houses. It's going to be a multi-million-dollar church that costs more than them houses. I don't care where you go. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. But my thing is this. Why are we putting all this money into a building? It is just a building, brick and mortar. It makes zero sense when the people around you are struggling. How your church look nice, but then you go across the street and that house messed up. Yeah. Why the church ain't took no money to fix the house up? Or you see, you know, the people right around that church struggling. Why the church ain't out there making sure they doing okay and saying, look, you don't need all this stuff to praise the Lord. You don't. You don't need a building, period. You don't.
Yeah.
It ain't just what you do inside the building. It's what you do when you outside of it more than anything, because you're not in it that much. You think about it. The average church is in the church, people and stuff in the church on Wednesdays, Sundays. So that's 2 days out the week.
2 days out of the week.
Bro, you done spent all this money for this stuff just to sit around for the other 5 days, not get used or nothing. That's a problem.
That could be.
And nobody sees that as being a problem. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You see church vans, they sit there all week long. But people needing to get to the doctor. People needing to get places. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to rely on their transportation system. Or whatever, because we have enough black churches with vans that we can get our own transportation system going. We don't need to rely on their schools. We got enough churches with dining halls that we can have our own schools, but not being used for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's no excuse. I don't have any of these things. I have a van, but guess what? I guarantee you I guarantee you it ain't a church in Goldsboro that's got a van that's taking more kids more places than my van. And I bet money on that. So, but I'm getting on. Ain't nobody saying, yo, Bevan, let me give you 10% of my check, yo, to take care of that and get them kids in places and stuff like that. No, that's coming out of pocket. Get donations here and there. You know, my brother Uhuru get donations here and there. But I'm just saying, how much more could be done if people were doing that? You know what I'm saying? But you speak on it, you the bad guy. But it's the truth. People run from the truth. You know what I'm saying? And any church should be like, dang, yo, I feel bad. How this man got a van running more than my van? Something ain't right about that. That should kick in every person's head that's even in the church and be like, yo, wow, that's deep. That van really sitting there all week. Them microphones, them speakers, the church view, all that stuff sitting there all week. Yeah. You know what I mean? The whole building sitting empty. So what is it getting used for?
They said,
but we claim we glorifying the Lord. How you glorifying the Lord? You ain't helping his people. The Bible clearly say that to glorify him, help his people. I can't even remember what verse, but I'll bring it back to you. You know what I'm saying? I know I got it somewhere saved in my stuff, because I save all my verses that are really, really, you know, I save a lot of them, but that's in there. So where's the responsibility? Where's the accountability? It's like, oh, you got a church, you get a pass. You a pastor, oh, you get a pass. I had somebody tell me, well, you need to reach out to the pastors. It's just one of me. Why they ain't reaching out to me? I can't sit and call all them. And I have talked to a lot of them. Don't think I haven't. I reached out to several of them. It's been time stuff has been needed. I reach out to them and they cut that check. I can get some results. I'm not even gonna front and say that I haven't.
Okay.
But at the same time, yo, if I know what's going on in the community and I know the issues, then come and say, yo, Bear, let me sit down with you, figure out what's going on with these issues. What can we do? I shouldn't have to pick up the phone.
So you feel like they should be more active?
Yes,
active.
Of course.
They should be, like I said,
accountability.
At the forefront.
Yeah, accountability. Yeah, we all have to be held to accountability. You, me, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is above it. You know what I mean? But we've come to think that people are above it and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you question what I'm doing politically, come at me, hold me accountable, because I could be out here selling out. Hold me accountable. If you see what I'm doing, you think it's questionable, hold me accountable. Yeah, and
my man Morris, shout out to Morris, man. He said they are bound by government policies as well. So
that's the thing. Okay, if you bound by government policies, then maybe you need to rethink: is it religion now? Is it God now? It's government. It ain't God no more. It's government. Okay. If you controlled by the government, that ain't God no more. So people want to go there with that. If you letting the government control you, then that ain't God no more.
When they started doing that, I think Bush came out with the faith-based initiative where they started giving churches money, but they had to, agree to
501c and stuff. It's like, get away from it. You don't want to be bound by that. It's not that hard. Like I said, once again, I try to structure my life so I'm not controlled by nothing. I'm free to make whatever decisions that I want to make and speak on whatever I want to speak on. I take whatever criticism and stuff comes with that. That churches need to do the same thing. Free yourself. So you're not bound by the government. You're not bound by this, that, X, Y, Z, and the third. And if you're a nonprofit anyway, you should be giving back.
Yeah.
That's what a whole nonprofit is for. To give back. So even if you ain't standing up or going against the government or anything, you should be giving back. 100, you should be giving back.
So my man, Umar Johnson said one time, he said the church is the most grossing income entity in the black community. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, well, where are the schools? Where are the hospitals? Where are the banks? And that's something that kind of makes you think with all, especially around here with all these churches, black churches as well. I mean, all of them should come together, conglomerize, and, you know, start a bank. I think it's only, like $250,000 to start a credit union. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure, you know, why wouldn't they, you know, why do you think that all of them won't come, with all of these issues, you know what I'm saying? I see, you know, homes boarded up, you know, people walking the streets, all these things. Unemployment, dust, you know, whatever, the disarray.
Yeah. So I went. So real quick, I'm gonna cut you off. I don't want to forget this thought. But I was in Raleigh. I went to pick up some carpet, and I think I was on Capitol. I think it was Capitol. Latino Hispanic credit union.
Wow.
I was like, wow, like yo, they ain't playing.
Yeah.
They ain't playing.
That's unity. Though.
That's unity. You know what I'm saying? But we can't get that unity because we at each other's throats so much. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think? What is the reason for like I said with church? Like I know a lot of pastors, and you know they seem real cool. You know, what I'm saying, on the surface. I don't. You know, once again, I'm not a pastor, so I don't kind of quote run those circles. I don't know who's friends with who, why they don't connect with this. What do you think is some of the issues that?
Well, I mean, for one, we got to understand that, okay, all these pastors was under another pastor at some point.
Okay.
And they felt like, well, I can do this, or I want my own church. You know what I mean? Some thought they could preach better. Some wanted the limelight. Some wanted the power. And it's no different in politics, so I'm not just picking on churches and pastors. Yeah, it's the same way in anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying these are the things. So now you take this church that had 300 members at one point. You get a pastor that come up in it. He leave and go over here. He take 75 of them. Now that church down to 225. Okay. You got another pastor in that church. He said, well, dang, such. Yeah, he got a new Escalade too. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he doing good. You know what I mean? Let me go. So he break out. He might take only 25 with him. So now that church down 100 members.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying now? So it's that, man. It's the competition. It's the I want that respect. I want that shine. I want that. Or some pastors know that the pastor they under ain't doing right.
Okay.
Too. Don't get me wrong. So they like, oh, I'm gonna go over here and do right. But a lot of times when they get over there, he don't always do right either. You know what I'm saying? And they start to fall into the same thing and start the greed and the everything else come in. So it's a lot of different issues. And like I said, those issues are throughout life. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be working for somebody and you like, well, shoot, I can do this. Not knowing all the stuff that come with it. And you like, well, I'm going to break out. I'm going to take half the people and I'm going to go over here, you know, and start my own. And you know what I mean? And it's just that we the greed and the of power and everything else.
All right, let me go ahead and start this joint.
He went out.
I see. They don't. Facebook be cutting me off on this joint, man. For real, this ain't the first time it's did that, man. Let me see if they let me go back. Oh yeah, see they playing with me now. Let me see. Okay, we back. Facebook be doing me like that too, man. They be cutting me off they be cutting me off in the midsection, man. But we were talking about the unity. We were talking about the unity of the churches and how they are less prone to get together. So okay, so go ahead.
And it's not just the churches, as people, we are less likely to get together, man. We just divided right now, and it's just terrible. And you got to think, if you go to war, the easiest way to win that war is to separate the people that you're going against, because then they ain't fighting together. If I got to fight you with somebody else, I can get the other person to, be like, oh, no, I ain't really Rick. I got a better chance of just going against Rick.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the thing in life. So they want us divided because they know if we unify, man, it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? That's black, white, Hispanic, straight, lesbian, gay. That's everybody that's standing for trying to change things, make things a better place for those who's coming after us. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of days I get disappointed going through things and seeing things. It's like, yo, man, this ain't gonna never change because people just not getting it. You know what I mean? And whatnot. And there's times I'm sitting at the table and we voting and I'm just sitting here like, yo, I just made a simple statement that was 100% true and they vote totally against what I said. It's disheartening, you know what I mean? But then you gotta learn to deal with it. You get back up and you fight another day. But it's tiring, you know what I'm saying? It's really, really tiring, you know what I mean? To see just the division amongst us, the problems amongst us, you know what I'm saying? And just everything. And, and a lot of people just go on about their daily lives because they're okay. Their house is okay. You know what I mean? It's like, I could walk away from all of this and be okay. You know what I mean? But I know it's bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like, when I fight for an issue at the school, it ain't for my son. My son don't even go to Wayne County School. I don't have a kid in Wayne County School. So I'm fighting for your kid and your kid and your kid and your kid and your kid. Because it's the right thing to do. I don't get anything out of it, but that's just what we're supposed to do.
But this one thing, though, and you can comment on this. I don't know if I told you. But I saw Gene Acock at my book signing February 6th. Came out there, it was on New Hope Road at the Heights Barbershop. So he came, got out his car, he had on his little Crocs, jogging pants, looking real disheveled. Now, shout out to Gene Acock, though, man, I don't want no trouble. But, you know what I'm saying? He was looking real disheveled, man, you know what I'm saying? So, he shoveled up to me. I'm like, oh, that's it. So he came, he saw my books, he saw the blue lights in my rear view, he saw the wrongfully accused. So he looked at them, was like, okay, I understand these two. Then he called himself. He said, no, I don't understand. But I know that there's, these things go on. So, I'm just waiting out my term. I don't, but basically he did say something that stuck with me though. He said, okay, I stay out here in District 5 or 6. I forgot which one it was. He was like, well, my people are property owners. They're looking for certain things about property and stuff like that. And so I gotta, look out for them. Now, he was like, the people in District 1, District 3, those are in those districts, and they're looking for, this, that, and the other. And I get it, but I gotta look out for the people where I live. And so the people that are in that district are not concerned about the people, what the people are in District 1 and District 3 are about.
That's the problem.
So yeah, but I kind of, I don't know. I guess it made sense to me because, okay, he's a commissioner. He lives out there. He got to do what's best for his district. No. But that's that. No. And doing for best was his district. It kind of puts the other district.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that. Because you don't do what's best for just for your district. You do what's best for everyone.
Okay.
You do what's best for the entire city. It's times, he's a city councilman, it's times that I voted with Gene because I thought it was best for the city. Not because it was best for what was just best for his district.
Okay.
That's the problem that we have.
Voted, so
now when it comes time for something that's best for my district, you don't want to vote for it because you feeling like it's gonna take something from your district. But you don't want but in doing what's best for my district does what's best for the entire city. Each and every time we all sit down at that table. If you do something that's best for one district, then it should benefit the whole entire community. You know what I mean? The whole entire city, county, whatever you're in, when it's state, whatever, it should be what's best for everybody. And that's the problem that we have. We get selfish. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that way. It's like, yo, I'm not going to say, okay, well, everything. I'm not going to argue every point. Every dollar that the county gets should go to District 3 right now. No, because every dollar shouldn't go to District 3 because there are other districts that might need things. But what I'm saying is District 3 should get its fair share of that money and maybe a little bit more because we are the district that's been deprived.
So do you think you've ever voted against something that could have benefited District 3 or whichever district you was that didn't benefit District 3 because it benefited the whole city, if that makes sense? Like, say something that you voted against something that could have benefited District 3, but because it didn't benefit the whole city, you didn't vote for, or vice versa, if that makes sense. Like say, okay, well, they want to do this, well, I mean, it's good for District 3, but that ain't good for the whole city. Have you ever did anything like that?
Well, it's been very few times that they're going to present something to District 3 or any of the black districts that's going to benefit the black districts that we're going to say, oh, you know, that's very few. But there have been times that I felt like, you know, something that they feel like